Hello and welcome. My name is Penny Meckley Porter, and I am the founder of Thrive Therapy Space here in Erie, PA. And I love to teach mindfulness. And so that's why I'm here to teach mindfulness today. We are going to focus on the breath today. So, this is the beginning in a series that's really on basic mindfulness. So, today we'll focus on the breath. We'll keep it pretty simple. If you're already experienced, we'll remind you of what you've already learned. And if you're brand new to mindfulness, welcome and we'll get started. So, just to let you know, what I'm going to be using a lot for this series is a book called Practicing Mindfulness by Matthew Sokolov. It's a great book. I modify what he has, but a lot of what I talk about is based on what he presents here. Let me just straighten this out. So, finding the breath. We'll just talk a little bit and then we'll get started. Maybe a minute of talking and then we're just going to get started. So, the breath is a great place to focus because we are always breathing, as you know. Our chest is constantly moving. We're breathing day and night. And so it's a good place to really be focusing on mindfulness because we can return to the breath anytime, right? Because it's constantly present. That's a little bit obvious, but it's helpful to know that no matter what's going on during our day, we can return to the breath. So if I'm spun up about something and kind of getting caught up in overthinking, I can return to the breath. If I'm sad or angry about something, I can return to the breath and anchor myself in the breath. If I'm having trouble sleeping at night, I can return to the breath. So the breath is pretty much always where we start with mindfulness. So let's get started. Sitting comfortably, probably in a chair. It's possible to lay down or to stand, but we'll just assume that you're in a chair. And I want you to find a position that feels comfortable to you and sustainable. So oftentimes we want to encourage people to sit fairly erectly, but you really need to find something that's comfortable for you. Listen to yourself. Gently allow your eyes to close. Though if closing the eyes is uncomfortable for you, I would suggest you kind of look downwards with your eyes, kind of mostly closed, but looking downwards. Find one place to focus your gaze. Next, I would like to have you, with your eyes closed or gazing downwards, bring your awareness to your abdomen. And begin to notice the natural rising and falling of your belly. Please try to relax the muscles that you have there. And just notice the natural movement of your belly with each breath. Perhaps focusing on the navel area, your belly button, around to the sides of your abdomen. And you're just tuning in to the movement. Good. Now I'd like you to deepen your breath for about 3 breaths. So breathing a little bit deeper than usual. Exhaling perhaps a little bit farther. There's no way to do it wrong. And continue to tune in to that area of the body noticing the movement. And after you've done 3 deeper breaths, returning to your natural breath. Again, noticing that movement in your abdomen. Next, I'd like you to move your awareness up to your chest. As you inhale, tune into the expansion of the lungs, the rising of the chest. It's really the expansion of the entire rib cage. As you exhale, feel the contraction and movement of the entire area. Connecting your awareness to the movement there of your chest area. And following that movement, you may notice that you tend to get distracted by thoughts of anything like bananas, putting bananas on the list for today. It's perfectly natural to get distracted as we're practicing mindfulness. And I'd like to encourage you, rather than seeing the mind wandering as a problem, I'd like you to encourage you just to notice when your mind wanders and to bring your awareness right back to the present moment as best as you can, right back to the feeling that you're tuning into, right? So it could be the feeling of the abdomen expanding, could be the feeling of the chest cavity expanding. Always using forgiveness with yourself, not getting mad at yourself when your mind wanders, or if your mind wanders for 2 minutes and you don't realize it for 2 whole minutes. Once you realize, you bring your awareness back to the present moment. So there we are, still at the chest cavity. One more thing to notice is see if you can notice a full cycle of breath. So next time you inhale, you're just noticing you're taking in air. Comes in probably through your nose, down your throat somehow, into your lungs. And then when you exhale, your lungs contract. The air goes back out through your throat and then back out through your sinus cavity. Or through your mouth, that's okay too. But so you're just observing the breath coming in, a full inhale, and then a full exhale to get that breath back out. Then you start over. You breathe in the air all the way into your lungs, and then you exhale that air. So each breath is a full cycle. When you inhale, you take in the air all the way into your lungs. When you exhale, that same air comes out. It's probably changed a little bit, but it's that same breath that comes out. Good job. So right now you're connecting to that air as you inhale and then exhale that breath. Good. Next, bring your attention to the nostrils, the tip of your nose. The feeling of breathing may be more subtle here. See if you can notice the sound of the breath when you inhale and exhale. Notice the sensation of the breath when you inhale and exhale. The feeling of the breath may be more subtle here at the nose than it is at the abdomen or at the chest area. But you're tuning in anyway to the sensation and or the sound of the breath at the nose. Taking your time with yourself, relaxing with this practice. There's no way to get it wrong. You might worry about getting it wrong. But essentially what we're doing is we are bringing your awareness to your breath. You might notice things you haven't noticed before. You might not notice anything different. But you just keep returning your awareness to your breath. So we've basically had you bring your awareness first to the abdomen, then to the chest cavity, and now to the nose. So I'm going to give you maybe 2 minutes to just focus on whichever one of those most resonated with you, and continue to observe your breath in that area that you choose. That was 1 minute. We're going to go for another minute. And keep bringing your awareness back to your body and your breath. Very good. So that was 2 minutes. You might notice that time kind of slows down when you're meditating. Now I'd like to wrap up this practice. So bringing your awareness back to the room that you're in, the chair that you're sitting on, back to my voice, and opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Noticing how you feel. It's possible you feel more relaxed. It's possible you feel more agitated. And both indicate a successful practice. It's really a practice of returning the awareness back to the breath repeatedly. And there are many benefits to it. So I'd like to invite you to come back next week. So next week, our practice is going to be noticing the points of contact with your chair, because that can be a great way of tuning into your body, tuning into the points of contact. And all of these practices can be one of the ways that over time you spend more time in the present moment and less time spinning on the past, worried about the future, and you just spend more time right here in the present moment. So please come again next week at noon at the Jefferson Educational Society Live Facebook feed. I'd love to see you back. Thank you.